Hello and welcome back to Leicester's The Place with me, Gerry Taggart, and him, Matty Elliott. Today I've got great pleasure in introducing a centre forward who'd endeared himself to the Leicester faithful during the noughties, so much so that in the 2008-2009 season he won the Players and the Fans Player of the Year award. It's the one and only Big Stevie Howard. How you doing, Steve?
I'm all right, mate. Yeah, not bad.
Good to have you here.
Great little introduction, that. Thank you very much.
It could have been better, but I thought we need to rattle through this today.
Oh, fair play.
You couldn't, son. That was as good as it gets. I'm impressed. I was waiting for a bit of background noise and a round of applause for Steve in there. For you as well.
For you, yeah.
We need to get that canned audience clapping, don't we, in future?
We'll have a word. We'll have a word with the people that matter.
Yeah.
But, no, great to have you along, mate.
Thank you for the invite, mate.
Good to meet you properly as well. For the first time, really. It's in passing to see you.
Yeah, it's always been in passing,
at
haven't we?
the ground and stuff. That was it back in the day. But I didn't realise how old you are.
Yeah, I'm knocking on a bit. Yeah, I had a birthday last week, so which is don't really celebrate them anymore. So that's all.
No, with you on that one. I thought you was a bit further down the line, and that's looking well, mate, considering. You're next to him.
It'd be hard, wouldn't it? That's why they put you out in a limb.
Stick me out the way. Anyway, let's get down and talk to business. First time you've been here at the...
First time I've been here, yeah. I've just had a little tour, and it's...
a big tour.
Well, a big tour, yeah. It's very, very, very impressive, yeah. I always knew it was going to be nice, but I didn't expect it to be that nice.
On another level, isn't it?
Oh, it's unbelievable. So it's a sort of place you want to come to work every day, yeah.
Yeah, would have been nice back in the day. Mind you, Beaver Drive was all right for us, wasn't it?
Yeah. It's about what we deserved, let's be honest. Matt, we were a pub team, at best.
All we deserved was jacket potatoes and beans. That was it, wasn't it, really?
To be fair, I thought Beaver Drive was all right.
Yeah.
And then they upgraded it a little bit. So
it did a job, didn't it?
It was all right, aye.
Did a job.
Yeah.
But, right, anyway, let's get on to more important matters. You, as most people would have told by now, you're from...
Yeah, I'm from Geordie land.
Yeah, up north way. A Geordie, not a Mackham. We've got to make that.
Yeah, just had that conversation. Yeah.
Like, are you from right in the middle of it?
No,
Newcastle
just outside of it.
Just outside.
My mum and dad are right in the middle of it.
Yeah.
From right in the middle of it, and they moved out, and then obviously had me, but my family's black, white, daft.
Seriously?
Since
or just daft?
Just both. But yeah, so
that was your life growing up as a kid, basically.
Season tickets in Newcastle. Yeah.
Who were the players then you'd have watched?
Beasley's, people like that. Yeah. So and then I got to play with him when I went to Hartlepool. But I remember.
You went to Hartlepool?
Beasley went to Pedro. Yeah.
Did he?
He was a coach.
Right. Okay. Hey, some player in by the way, isn't
he was still unbelievable then.
Played against him in veterans corporate charity stuff. 10 years older than everyone else. Yeah. 10 times better than everyone else. Unbelievable.
It was funny because the first day he came up with training at Hartlepool, I remember it was peanut down with rain, and we're indoors and we're waiting for him to come, and everybody had a ball and we're just like warming up. You know, everybody's got a ball. And you know his little shimmy he did. Yeah. As soon as he walked through the door, everybody's doing the shimmy.
And falling over.
Basically couldn't do it. So
it's different level.
Yeah. Gaza, yeah, he was just slightly just before me, but obviously watching him through the...
Yeah.
I mean, I think that's why, when I was a kid, I had a Gascoigne top when he went to Tottenham and all that, so he was just brilliant, wasn't he? Yeah. He was the best player in the world at the time, wasn't he?
Yeah.
And then he obviously put his name.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Gaza.
But yeah, Newcastle, it's... Gallagher, my dad took us to the Gallagher, when I was a kid.
Brilliant.
All that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Brilliant, mate.
Good times, but you started in more humble surroundings in football terms, it's fair to say. Luton Town in the Northern Premier League.
Yeah, Luton Town.
How old was you then? Did you come through just like a kid, I suppose?
So I was 6. Well, I did a second year YT as it was back then at Sunderland.
Oh, right. So you were at...
Basically broke me and mum and dad's heart.
That happens quite a lot, though, doesn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Like,
yeah.
More than you care to mention.
Yeah. Did that and then got released. Always remember that Jim Montgomery. Jim Montgomery, the keeper.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, he said it was...
final and all that, isn't
it? Yeah. He said, Steve, you better get a job because you're not going to be a footballer. I was like, all right, okay, fair enough.
Cheers.
So I went to Luton Town, went to work for my dad as a roofer. He had a roofing business. And we went to Luton Town. And then we ended up winning the league.
Right.
And then I got a trial for Middlesbrough. Middlesbrough ran out of money at the time. And then they said, I'm going to refer you to Hartlepool. And well,
and away you go.
And away I went.
Yeah,
you go.
it sounds a little bit like similar-ish to my career. It was, my dad used to say, these overnight sensations sometimes take a little longer than you think. You have to like crawl your way up there, don't you? But,
Yeah.
So what was that like, Steve? Hartlepool, because you weren't there long before you made your
No.
debut, were you?
No. So when I got Town won the league, and then I was supposed to go back, and then had a pre-season game with Hartlepool, and they said, look, we'll sign you. And I signed for a year. I think I signed for a year. And it was when the Coca-Cola Cup, well, I don't know what the hell it was back then.
Yeah.
It was 2 legs.
Yeah, that's right.
So the first leg up here, it was only 4th game in, I think. So it was against Arsenal, due Arsenal. So I think I was on the bench, and then I played down there. And I was a midfield player, like I said.
At Highbury?
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Huh?
At Highbury?
At Highbury, yeah.
Yeah.
At Highbury, yeah.
Right, wow.
Went
Centre
down
mid,
there.
were you?
And it was, and then I always remember the gaffer at the time went, Steve, right, you have to just stand on rear parlour. There's 45,000 people there. You know, I came from Town Law where there was 45.
Yeah.
And you're like, I got to mow him. And then he went off at half time, and I was like, I'll go for that. Then Paul Merson came on.
Yeah, that's the
He says,
problem,
"Can you
isn't
walk in?" I went, get me out of here now. This is not my level. So I went. So I left eye. So it was,
That's the sort of version of quick transfer to Alan Birchall. You'll know Birch.
yeah, Birchie, yeah.
He did that when he was playing in America, didn't he?
Yeah.
He was marking. Was it Pele?
Pele from
Pele in the
South
first half. Pele came off, and he went, "Oh, that's the result." He said, "Yeah, pick up Beckenbauer instead now at the set piece."
He was playing for the San Jose Earthquakes or something like that, wasn't it?
Yeah, and they introduced him on the pitch. He said, "And all the way from England, Alan Birchall."
No, Birchie probably did a job on them, did he?
Yeah,
No,
exactly.
Birchie.
Yeah.
So how did that game end up then, down at Arsenal?
I think we got beat 4-0. I think we got beat 2-0 up here, and we got beat 4-0 down there.
But what
It was
an
just a-
experience that.
God, I mean, I was fresh.
How old were you? Wait,
19, maybe 18, 19, maybe.
Do you think that served you well later on
that.
down the line? You know, doing the roofing.
Yeah.
Coming from that sort of background. And again, mine was half similar. I was working building site, not quite as glamorous as you being a roofer, but
he was making the tea.
Yeah.
He wasn't doing any building.
pretty much sweeping the roofs and stuff. But no, I think it gives you good grounding, though, doesn't it?
Totally.
You know, in some ways, I think I don't know, other people might think, well, they were more professional than me early on. The players who've gone through the system, maybe the case, but certainly makes you appreciate things down the line,
Oh,
doesn't it?
definitely. Yeah. I mean, it was one of them where, you know, roofing it, you know, 6 till 6, and then I went out a labour on the roads as well, and I just thought, I don't want to really do this the rest of my life. You know what I mean? And then when I had a taste of the football, you think, oh,
Makes sense, doesn't it?
it's like when you come here, you know,
Yeah.
the training ground, you think, wouldn't mind working here every day. How do I do that?
Yeah, correct.
So how you started off as a central midfielder, is that right?
Centre midfield player, and then went like left. Because would you believe, Taggart, I mean, don't laugh here. I used to be quick,
Right.
and I used to jink in and then whip.
Seriously?
Yeah.
Wow.
So there you go.
So when it,
Inverted winger before his time, mate.
Well, listen, they've always been around.
Exactly.
They've always been around.
And then I think then something happened, I think, and we got a few injuries, and then because I was big, and then went go up top, and then I scored a few goals, and I went stay up top.
Stay up top there.
I just stayed up top.
Right.
It says on here, Bergkamp played in the second leg.
Bergkamp played in the second leg as well, because I remember this, because you just signed, and all the Hartlepool lads shout, what a waste of money.
There you go.
Look how that turned out.
Our careers are more similar than you think. I've had my troubles with Bergkamp as well.
Yeah.
Anyway, we'll move on from that one.
Televised, and they're televised all the time.
Oh dear. So, Northampton coming,
Yeah.
record signing.
Yeah.
See, back then, 120 grand it says there, but it's all relative, you know, to the times and stuff, isn't it? But who's gaffer there?
Ian Atkins.
Oh yeah.
Ian Atkins, with Kevin Wilson.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Gringo.
Yeah.
The Gringo with his little tie.
Yeah.
And he shaved his tash off. I was like, what are you doing? But it was because I was on the bus on the way back from Exeter. And Peter Beardsley was on the bus doing the coaching. And you know, it was back in the day when you used to have a couple of cans.
Exeter, what, Hartlepool, Exeter.
Yeah, Beardsley. Right, so there's two Because we used to be sponsored by Cameron's, the brewery. We
Right.
used to put like 2 slabs of lager and 2 slabs of bitter on
Yeah.
it. And we used to have a few cans in the back, and obviously Pedro he never drank, he doesn't drink. So he was down the front of the bus. And then he called us down. And I remember walking down with a can, I thought, oh, I can't take that, that's Pedro. So I walked in and sat next to him, and he went, I think somebody's coming for you, you better ask the gaffer. So I went down and I says, what's happening? He says, look, we're trying to agree a price for you. And I was, a young kid at heart, I didn't know what the hell I was doing. So I came back and sat with Pedro, and I says, well, what do I do? And he went, right, you need to do this, 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 and this, and this. And he just told us what to do. And then I think that 2 days later I signed.
So you go down there, so you're what, sort of 19 at that age?
Yeah, about 19, yeah. I think it was just before my 19th birthday.
You're paying 120 grand for a 19-year-old.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a few quid back then,
Yeah.
isn't it?
What was that? League One?
That was League One, I think it was,
League One, yeah.
League One. Yeah.
But you go down,
Amount of money to be.
did you have an agent?
No.
Because
That's why
I can remember many times that back in our days, agents were non-existent early on, weren't they?
Yeah.
But-
That's why I asked Pedro what to do. I said,
Yeah.
Peter, I said, what do I do? And he says, right, you need to ask for this, 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 and this. And he was on about the relocation fee.
Yeah.
You used to get the relocation.
Yeah, a few quid
And
to
he
do
used
your
to try
house
and knock
up.
you down. And then he said to me, he went, no, ask for that because they can get that.
Yes.
I was like, all right. And then I got that, and then, I was great for him because it was, I ended up getting the house down there, and I used that bit of the house.
Yeah.
So it was great. But I would never ask for that, just to me.
Wouldn't have known. No, exactly.
So he helped us right out.
Yeah, and they don't always mention it to you, do they?
Keep it back. Exactly. So, yeah.
So where did you relocate to then when you joined Northampton?
I moved to Northampton.
did
I
you?
stayed in Northampton now. So it was, loved it. Was there for probably, because when I moved to Luton, I stayed in Northampton.
It's not that far, is it?
So I just stayed there, and obviously got to know everybody in there. And even the lads who I played with Northampton, they all stayed there. So it was great.
Did you have a
Lee
good
Howie.
social?
Big Lee Howie was there. Yeah.
Good social?
Fantastic social. Mate.
Yeah.
Oh, couldn't do it now. But
It says here you only played 86 games and scored 18 goals
that was, yeah. What? Where?
at Northampton.
Northampton.
Yeah.
We played up front with it was a big Jimmy Forrester.
Yeah.
It was like him and me up front. So it was.
So how was your time there?
I loved it.
Yeah.
Loved it. Northampton. Loved it. Absolutely loved it.
Any highlights, key moments, or any moments?
Just
where
when we got promoted. Obviously, we got promoted to Torquay, and obviously the Bees were on the way back, and we were on our tracksuits. And there used to
You
be
liked it down in Devon, didn't you?
yeah,
Down
lovely
there.
down there. There used to be a massive nightclub. I don't know if it's still there, to be honest, in Northampton called Chicago's. Massive.
In Torquay.
No, when we came
Oh.
back to Northampton.
I would say, I used to live in Torquay back then.
Oh, did you?
I don't remember that one.
English Riviera down there. It's beautiful down there.
Yeah, 3 years down there.
The bus pulled up and they said, are we going back to the ground to get changed and then go out? I said, nah, we just bowled in. So we just bowled in. I mean, they were rascal tracksuits as well. I was just bowled straight in. All the lads were on the bus and all. Like one of the lads climbed out the skylight and came on the bus and all that sort of stuff. So and we bowled straight in. So
Brilliant.
Yeah, it was good.
The good old days.
Good old days.
The good old days.
The thing is, I used to, didn't you? You used to get on the bus, play a game, especially with a trip like that, and then have a beer.
Well, we used to stop off at times. Dennis Smith, even at Oxford, like not long before coming to Leicester, Gaffer, just stop off at the pub, random pub, and sit there for a couple of hours, and then and still have beers on the
Still
coach.
have beers there.
Yeah.
Because we used to stop at Wetherby, where I live now, the Wetherby Willer.
Yes, I do. Fish and chips.
Yeah, it was like certain notorious places, weren't
Yeah,
there?
yeah. Because it was like the bus driver obviously out there for his little 45-minute
Yeah.
skip or whatever it is. And we used to get off there. The kit man used to run at the fish shop. We used to pile at the pub.
Yeah.
We used to eat the fish and chips on the wheel.
What more do you want?
Exactly.
I'm interested to know how long it took. Yeah, just going back there before you moved to Northampton.
Yeah.
And you were at Hartlepool. And you went to Exeter. How long does that journey take?
Oh, Jesus. I think I always remember there's a place back home called Tesco's Roundabout. So the bus used to come from like Newcastle down and pick some of the lads up and then go to Hartlepool. And it'd pick me up at 6:15 in the morning. I remember. And he used to get on the bus and try and have a kip.
Yeah.
Pile all the way down there. And play. So that was
I think the worst journey I ever had was when it was at Barnsley. We played Plymouth away on Boxing Day. And we had to leave at 5 o'clock on Christmas Day
oh, Jesus.
to get down to Plymouth.
Yeah.
And that was just...
Ridiculous, isn't it?
It is, when you think about it now, trying to get off the bus and play,
Yeah.
you got no chance.
Yeah, creaking away.
Yeah.
It was a Torquay to Carlisle. Made it even worse because I was living with this girl and I had a cat. I didn't want the cat. I had a cat. But I've woken up a bit bedraggled, got on the bus. All of a sudden, the lads are like, "What's that smell?" And flipping out, the cat had weed all over my tracksuit buttons, didn't it? We had a 7-hour journey to Carlisle. They made me, stripped them off me, threw them out the skylight. You're talking about that? Threw them out there. I turned up half naked at the hotel. It's, maybe not such good old days.
Scrunch them up in the corner, the
Well,
tracksuit, and the cat's used it as a
yeah,
bed.
and I just got up oblivious.
Yeah.
Before I realised it was too late.
Some things never change because you still don't smell the best.
Yeah, it's a bit harsh. So, Steve, Luton Town comes into the equation and you end up signing there. So it's a bit of a reduction in your transfer fee.
Yeah.
Things went okay at Northampton, though, but £50,000, March 2001, apparently. But I'm looking forward to hearing about your time at Luton for a couple of reasons. One, it says you nearly got sacked after a certain incident.
Yeah.
And also, Mick Arford is there.
Oh, well, it is.
Big Mick.
Yeah. Well, I signed. Well, it was 50 grand because my contract was up. Because at Northampton, because I know they signed Mario Gabbiadini.
Yes.
Great lad. You know, speak to him now.
Good player in his day,
Great player.
Marco Gambit.
Yeah, really good.
Yeah, he was a player, wasn't
Yeah, scored some goals.
he? Sunderland boy.
And they brought him in, and I knew there was interest for me. So I said, "Oh, look," I says, "I'm happy to stay. Just match his wage, and I'll be fine."
Right.
And they wouldn't do it. They just said, "Right, we'll give you another contract on the same money." I was like, "Well, I'm playing every week," and he wasn't.
Yeah.
Like, well done. And then the Luton thing came in. I went, "Right, we're off."
Turned out a good move.
It was
though,
a
as well.
pretty easy decision.
Oh, it was,
yeah.
in the end it was, yeah. And to this day, when Kevin Wilson, when I speak to Kevin Wilson, you know, every couple of weeks, he said we should have matched his wage and we should have kept you.
Yeah.
I went, well, you know, I had somebody that wanted us.
Well, that's it.
And you just
Did you
think,
say Gabbiadini came to Northampton?
yeah,
Well, you'd have been a pair, you two, wouldn't you?
yeah, well,
That'd have gone well.
that's what I thought. But he didn't do it. He just played one of us.
Yeah,
So I was like, obviously he was coming to the end of his career, and I wanted to kick on. So it was one of them where I'm thinking, right, I just want to play. And then obviously Luton came in, and it was
Who's gaffer there?
what, Luton?
Yeah.
Joe Kinnear.
Right, yeah, of course, yeah.
Joe Kinnear.
There's some stories about him as well, by that reaction.
He's a lovely fella. Just like, I've got on really well with Joe. Because I remember signing, and I went in, and I had an agent at the time now,
Yeah.
and he sat next to us, and he went, right, what are you offering? And Joe went, what do you want? It's not my money.
This is a place for me.
Yeah.
Here you go. So it was, and then obviously they thrashed it out, and then I signed.
Lovely.
So, yeah.
Happy days. Happy days. Yeah, so, well, listen, you had what were you there? 4 or 5 years? 4 years or so?
4 years, yeah.
Yeah.
Got a
So
few.
come on then, what was this incident that almost got you sacked against...
Well, it was early doors, and I didn't really score that many goals. And obviously, you sign there as like, you know, a striker, you want to
yeah,
score.
you want to get off to a good start, don't you?
I wasn't, so I was getting a little bit frustrated, and then we got a penalty at York away. I thought, right, I'll have this. Not a problem. Bang, took it, because Kevin Nichols wanted to take it, captain.
Yeah.
Took it, keeper saved. I didn't miss it, keeper saved it.
Yeah.
And obviously, and then the
Was it a great save?
Oh, it was an unbelievable save.
Unbelievable.
Goldie.
Wonderful
Goldie.
save.
Unbelievable. I think still gets replayed now, you know.
Yeah.
No, I think it's just.
He's a hero at York City, the keeper, isn't he?
And then the referee's blowing, and he went, "You'll have to retake it." Because somebody encroached the penalty. I was like,
Happy days.
put it down. Bump. Keeper saved it again.
Did you go the same way?
Went exactly the same way, exactly the same save. I was like, yeah, maybe I should have put it that side. Well, then, you know, you haven't scored, your frustration kicks in. And then it was just, as we know, just the mist came down a bit.
Yeah.
So I remember the right back was trying to clear the ball, and I just cleaned him out, you know, thinking, well, I'm not bothered. So I had a bit of a head loss.
Yeah.
So Joe pulled us off, and I was raging. But obviously I don't understand why. And then he didn't say anything. And then he rang us the next day, and everybody was saying, get rid of Howard, he's crap, he's all this. And I was like, all right, here. And then Joe rang us, he went, look, I'm just not going to play for the next 2 games, but you're back in, don't worry about it. And I went, oh, brilliant. And then I went to score 24 24 goals.
24. I think you were the highest goal scorer that season.
24 goals. It was
He
just
brought
like
you back in.
he just put it straight back in. He went
By
right.
his word, fair
Won the
play.
Golden Boot.
Yeah.
So, really,
Yeah,
great
great
management
management.
from Joe Correa.
exactly,
Joe Kinnear's
yeah.
side.
You worry sometimes, though, don't you? When you go, oh, right, yeah, is he just
Yeah, as he just tried to
playing
see
me?
it.
Because if the other fella comes in and does well, then you're
Yeah,
struggling,
exactly.
aren't you? But
So he was all right. So it was one of them where the supporters were going daft, saying get rid of him, get rid of him. We paid 50 grand for him. He's on this, he's on that. Get rid of him. Okay. And I just went bam, bam, bam.
came through it.
So,
But, I mean, in terms of getting sacked,
I mean, I don't think I would ever get sacked, like, but
you can't get sacked for missing a penalty.
right, it was just because I thought as soon as I came off the pitch, I thought, right, you've obviously I dropped my clanger there, so
Yeah.
just put your head down. Obviously, the lads came in, I was like, lads. But I remember Ian Holloway, he was a right back, and he scored a screamer. So it was 1-1, I think it was, 1-1.
Yeah, it's not like
And
you
I thought,
lost the game.
I'm going to beat.
Yeah, exactly.
So just keep your head down.
Yeah.
And the lads came in, I was sorry, lads, about that.
We ended up with a decent record, was it? Basically 1 in 2.
Yeah.
Over a 4-year period, ain't bad going, is it?
Yeah, I did all right. I bagged a few in for them. But I just enjoyed playing for them as the team we had. It was brilliant.
Yeah. Yeah, Luton is a good place to play your football down there, isn't it? Isn't it?
We're talking about characters. You know, you just mentioned the manager, but there's another fella
Yeah.
that had a part to play in your career.
Mick.
Big Mick.
Big bad Mick.
What a bloke he is, man.
Oh.
We all know Mick, but
Absolutely. Well, my cheek, my eyes,
Yeah.
my ribs, you know, every part of my head basically knows Mick pretty well. I know his elbows pretty well. So how did he affect your career then?
when I first signed, he basically just got a hold of us and said, watched a few games. He went, "Where's your wings? Where's your wings?" And I was like, "Wings?" He says, "Your wings?
Yeah.
Get them out." And it was just like he went right. And every time he went, "Howie," and it was just how to use them, not being like being physical using them. You know, like get up high and so you kind of protect yourself as well, and then give them one. And it was just the subtle little things he used to say to us, and I would never have been the player I was without him.
Yeah.
Without doubt. I mean, he just, you know, Kevin Wilson was great. He gives me a real opportunity at Northampton. But then when I felt as though, you know, when you look back in your career and you think, yeah, that was a bit of a turning point for me, that like.
Well, not dissimilar style,
Oh,
really, isn't it?
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Tailor-made for you, wasn't it?
Yeah. I mean, he's from Sunderland, I'm from Newcastle. But,
Yeah.
and we're still keep in touch with to this day. I spoke to him last week because of the playoffs, but
Yeah.
obviously he's playing tonight. But
You had a little moment, didn't you, at one stage?
Yeah, I
Was
don't
it
know.
Wimbledon?
At Wimbledon, yeah, we played. I'd not long been at Leicester. Scored 2 in the first half against Wimbledon when they were playing at Selhurst Park, ground sharing. And I was like, oh, this Premier League business is like not all it's cracked up to be. And then playing alongside Walshy, Steve Walsh, he says, oh, hang on a minute, Mick Harford's coming on at half time. He's about 36 at the time. I said, obviously I'd heard about him, never actually come across him. Walsh went, just watch yourself. I was like, yeah, right. Ball goes, but he takes the kick off, second half, goes back to Ben Thatcher. Ben Thatcher's just put his head down to launch it in the channel. I'm sitting in the channel waiting. Next minute, bang, forearm smash on the deck. Ball hasn't even left Ben's foot yet. Yeah. I was like, what's that all about? He went, you won't be scoring 2 this half, son. I was like, you may be right. And a few things happened subsequently. But yeah, that was my experience. Then at the end of the game, he's growling at me. I was like, oh, we won 3-1. I was like, well, what's the matter with you? What? He's going, Elliott. I was like, what? Pretending I wasn't bothered.
yeah.
Well played, son. He's going to have a beer. I was like, yeah, all right. He went, you're buying.
He's
We crack on whenever.
Yeah, he's a lovely fella on the pitch. Even like when he was, I remember watching him. But even when he was assistant manager, we got beat at Bristol Rovers, and one of the lads was kicking off, and Joe was doing his little walk about, and the lad was kicking off, and then Mick just stepped in front of Joe. The lad just sat up. There you go.
I had a conversation with him once, with Mick, and I said to him, I played against him a few times, and again, he's, just like you do you off a ball. And he told me when he was 16, I think he was playing for Lincoln as a kid, and he got done from a corner. And he said ever since that day, where he got done, he said, I always get it in first.
Yeah.
Done again.
And because he got done that, he says, never let a centre half do me
That
again. I
fella
always
from-
get it in first, ask questions.
That
later.
fella from Lincoln's got a lot to answer for.
Well, no, I think he was playing for Lincoln at the time.
Oh, right,
As
okay.
a kid, and someone had done him, and he said, yeah. So I always got in first, ask questions later.
Because I think he used to say to me, the first thing you do is just do it right. If it's an elbow, if it's a header, whatever you do, just do it right.
Because it sets you up.
It sets you up.
Sets you up.
True that. I mean, a lot of managers say that, don't they? First pass, whatever. Whatever it is. And it does have a bearing a lot of the time. It just sets you up, doesn't it?
Yeah, yeah.
Sets you up.
Especially if you pass a ball and it's a bad pass, and then you pass again.
Yeah.
Confidence starts going up one of them, doesn't it?
Yeah, one of them days.
Yeah, yeah.
One of them days.
So you won League One, was it, with?
No, it would have been League Two, League One, then we went to Championship. So we just bounce.
Brilliant.
I think we got to about fourth in the Championship at the time, and then the club went bust. But Joe left, and Mike Newell was the manager.
Was that when it all went belly up?
And went belly up,
Right.
and then they just started selling everybody.
So that worked out all right for you, innit?
Yeah, it did.
It ran that way.
But it was just sad to see that because the team we had at Luton was so good, not as in ability wise, it was just a team.
Yeah.
You know, when you're in a great team, it's brilliant, isn't it?
Yeah.
Who's the main players there?
It was
Kevin Nichols.
Kevin
I remember, mate.
Yeah. So you had me, Kevin Nichols, lad called Chris Coyne. Later was Curtis Davies.
Yeah.
And then we had Marlon Beresford at the back, who was the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it was just the core of the side was great, and Joe kept changing everybody around. But he got a little Berkovic, Ahmed Berkovic, little right winger, little tricky little Croatian lad, actually sporting Eurovision song. This was on. When the Eurovision song was on, he was texting us going, Croatia's crap. I was like, I'm not watching it, mate. I'm not watching
Are you owning up to watching that?
No. Well, I might have flicked it on. But yeah, so he used to ping balls into for me. And Joe used to say, when he gets the ball, just hit Howie. Bang, bang.
It
So
worked.
it was
It worked. We're going on. I mean, it's a golden boot for, what was that, in Division 3 as it was, or League 1 as it is now?
Yeah.
Whatever.
So it was,
Golden boot in that division. Says it all.
just that. It was just
Rattling
one of
the
them.
goals in.
Yeah, seemed to just go on a purple patch.
Also says it all. With £1 million move.
Got £1 million move,
Got there to the promised land.
Yeah, because there was a few stiffing. I know Leeds was stiffing. Who else was? Chef Webb was stiffing at the time. Ended up going back there, but
Leeds, that would have suited
Leeds.
you, wouldn't it?
Well, I would have played a big club.
Yeah.
But I remember we had a pre-season game at Luton. I think we were playing Ajax or something like that. And he went, and Mike Newell says, there's somebody come in for you. They put 750 in for you, but I want £1 million.
Right.
I knew he was great. He's a lovely fella. Do you know Mike Newell?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a great fella. And I was Newell, I said, you're taking the piss. I said, you're never going to get £1 million. I said, I'm not worth £1 million. I remember saying that to him. And he went, no, you'll get £1 million. And I went, need chance. Anyway, so I was getting changed for this pre-season game. And he went, oh, you're not playing today, mate. I've just got £1 million for you. I was like, what?
Lovely.
This is Derby. So I came out the changing room, and Mick Harford was in the car park. And he went, I've been waiting for you. Right, go. And I went, do you think I should go? And he went, go.
Yeah, it's got to be done.
And I went, right, great. He says, ring us as soon as you get back, ring us.
Does he play for
Does
Derby?
he play for Derby as well? He went, go, it's a great club, brilliant. So I remember going up there, and I remember sitting in the Derby, and I had me Luton Town tracksuit on, chatting away with him. So it was
Amazing how it works, isn't it?
amazing how it works.
Yeah.
Brilliant.
So what age are you then?
I would have been 20, maybe 27, 28,
Yeah.
27, 28.
Again, similarities again.
Yeah.
Me,
Yeah,
28,
no,
Leicester.
come to Leicester.
It was
that
like
is,
that, yeah. You think the chances passed you by and that, don't you?
But it was funny. It was funny when I signed for them. I thought I'd made a bit of a mistake early doors with Derby.
Did you have other options or?
Had other options, but obviously that was the £1 million thing.
Yeah.
The most money in the agreed terms. But I didn't want to leave the team.
Right.
I loved playing for Luton Town.
Right.
I mean, like Kevin Nichols, people like that, He used to come in. Kevin Nichols used to come in with these big fireworks on bonfire night and that. where are you getting them from? Oh, don't ask. And these used to be like industrial fireworks.
Right, proper.
And you're like, Jesus. So he's coming, he says, oh, we'll set them off after training. So we went training, and then Mike Neal was up in the office, and he went, Stevie, can you come upstairs? We just want to chat about the game on Saturday. I said, yeah, no problem. So all the time, and then he got knocked on the door, and he says, oh, Kevin Nichols is going to set off these fireworks. Do you want to come? So we came to the top of the stand, and Kevin Nichols got this big, he got the groundsman to dig a hole with his tube, and he stuck this firework in it, and he started putting all these clothes on it. And Yuli's sitting next to us going, brilliant, this thing just exploded, and all of his clothes went all over the place. So it was one of them, you know, like stuff like that, and you think, am I going to get that again?
Yeah.
And but it was a great team going to Derby, but it was a totally different team. It was a more professional team.
Yeah.
More refined.
Yeah, basically. And I think that's why we made the step up.
Yeah, I think
Who was the manager there, Steve?
Billy Davies.
Billy Davis.
the majority of the time you find that, although that wasn't necessarily the case at Leicester for us.
Oh, no.
Still sort of
No.
rough and tumble, wasn't it, a bit?
Yeah.
But we were lucky.
The managers you played for were like approachable people. You know, like one of the lads. Or was it very much a manager player?
Martin was very unapproachable at times, wasn't he? But he encouraged, Martin O'Neill, he encouraged us to do what we wanted, really, as long as we put the effort in on the pitch, and ultimately got the results. We got the results, we could do what we wanted.
Right, okay.
But not all managers are like that. Sort of Premier League, there is a bit of difference going up, isn't there? But
I just feel as though now, like even like you know, like people like Klopp and like Pep, they're all like, you know, like integrating in the squad as like one of the lads.
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
You know, like I Pep when they won the league or whatever, the one he did that slide and all that sort of stuff. With
yeah.
I mean, you wouldn't get joking here doing that, you know what I mean?
No.
No, I think
I'd
that's
love
more
to
of a
see it.
divide.
Well, yeah. Could he do it, though? But I don't know. I think that's just the way, you know, the game's sort of changed. But definitely, I would say, yeah, there was more of that.
I think you've got to have the respect originally, haven't you, to be able to do that? Because he comes in, he wants to be one of the boys, and he ain't proven himself.
Yeah,
and you're like, hang on a minute, it's a bit too familiar, isn't it?
Yeah, they're not having it.
Yeah, you've got to achieve things first, haven't you?
Yeah, so talking about managers then, Steve, Billy Davis, how'd you get on with him? Because he was a manager when you were in the Premier League, wasn't he? And
Yeah.
as you say, a lot more professional.
Oh, totally. It was, yeah.
And Luton.
I mean, when I first signed there, it was very. You could tell it was it wasn't a step up, but it was a step up, if you know what I mean, because just the way you had to train, was just so intense, and you had to be fit, and you wanted everybody fit. And he always used to say, "I want your hands on knees every training session, hands on knees."
Right.
And I wasn't the fittest lad. So
Being a professional footballer, and you've got to be fit.
oh yeah. What?
Did he run you a lot? Was just the training and intense, like at the
Bit of
tempo?
both, mate. To
Bit
be
of
honest, because it was so intense, the training. I mean, you were knackered. And I think it must have been the first 3 or 4 games we played, we didn't win. So I'm thinking, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I'm not scoring £1 million. I'm thinking, oh my God.
Yeah.
This is going to get pear-shaped.
Just thinking,
should never
I hope
left.
there's no penalties. I'm not taking them.
But Billy came up and he went, look, just bear with us. You have to bear with us. I want to build a team around you, so just bear with us. And then all of a sudden these players started coming in, got 1 win, and then we all win.
Nice to hear, isn't it?
Isn't that great to hear?
Yeah.
'Cause it made me, even though I was doubting myself, he just popped us back up.
Yeah.
And I think that's all about man management. Huh?
Yeah, absolutely.
I mean, it doesn't matter.
Knowing your players, basically, knowing how to...
It doesn't matter what walk of life you're in. If you work in an office and somebody's having a down day, you need to pick them up.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So you bumped into a certain Seth Johnson, who's
For Seth Johnson,
a good mate of yours to this day.
Yeah, he's a really good mate. He's like I said, he's got married in the summer, so he's best man. So
What's happening with the best man duties?
the best man duties. I'm just trying to write the speech, but it's one of them. Oh, it's going to be a room full of footballers.
It was going to be in Vegas,
It
wasn't
was going to be in Vegas in front of 12 people, but now it's in Derby in front of 150. So I'm like, oh, gosh. So, but we are going to Vegas for the stag do, though.
Oh, lovely.
So,
Can't you do the best man speech at the stag do?
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's Gerry.
Any room?
And then you can record it and replay it at the wedding, so you don't have the embarrassment of having to stand up.
Yeah, I'll do that.
Thank you, Gerald.
Right.
I like that.
There you go.
Yeah.
So how did you find the Premier League then, Steve, when you... It was a difficult time for Derby, wasn't
Oh,
it?
yeah.
As a whole, and
Well, there was a whole plan at Derby to get promoted within 3 years. Billy says, look, we'll do it in 3 years. That's a plan. And we just did it in one.
yeah.
And we weren't prepared.
Yeah.
You know, and even Billy, you talk to Billy now, and he was just like, well, we weren't prepared. You know, and you look at the players. He tried to get rid of a load of players and sign a lot of players in January. It was too late.
Too late.
Far too late.
Yeah.
I mean, you know, you brought some quality players in, but you couldn't knit them in that time because we was getting pummeled every week.
Yeah.
So it was a bit of a strain, but it was always, even though we were getting beat, I always used to look back and go, hello, Steve, you played for Tower like 10 years ago.
Yeah. Yeah, now you're in the
Premier League.
Yeah.
It's not bad. You know, you get beat 3-4-0 every week,
That's it.
which sort of got you down a little bit, but you just had to recheck yourself, you know.
And you can tell your kids as well, you went for £1 million. Right,
I scored at Man United, so...
mind you, they scoff at that these days, don't they?
no, yeah.
£1 million,
£1 million
well,
quid.
same with me.
How many goals did you score in that Premier League season? One.
Uno. And I had a cap for Scotland and I scored for them. Because I couldn't hit the barn door. It wasn't that I was in and out the squad, in and out the squad, in and out the squad. And then I was talked about was moving, and I was like, going on loan. And then we played, I got a phone call from Craig Brown. He says, oh, do you fancy coming to play for Scotland? I was like, yeah, I'm Scottish.
Again, similarities.
But obviously, he knew about my mum, and my grandma's Scottish.
Yeah.
So I could play for Scotland.
Same.
So I went up there, played, scored a header, and then we played Man United on the Saturday, and I scored again. Buses.
Lovely.
2 and 2.
You know what I mean?
Separated at birth, you two, I'm sure.
It's weird, isn't
Because
it?
he's just relaying
Yeah.
the same thing that happened to you.
What happened to you?
playing for
What-
Scotland.
My grandmum was Scottish.
All right,
Yeah, I got the shout just for the '98 World Cup. So I got myself involved in that. Didn't play, was on the bench and whatever, but yeah. Had a checkered career for Scotland.
that's
But,
all It's just a whole different
yeah.
level.
Well,
That.
exactly. That's something you non-league. All of a sudden, I'm playing international football. Never mind Premier League. I'm playing international football.
Yeah.
Mental.
Yeah.
Mental.
It was an experience, put it that way.
Yeah, no, it's good fun. Good
How
fun.
many times did you play for Scotland? then?
once.
Just that once.
Just once. Just that once.
And you scored.
Because I moved back to, I scored.
And you
'Cause
never
Alex McLeish, Greg Brown was part of Derby. And then Alex McLeish said, come play. I played.
Yeah.
And then I scored. And then in the January, I got sold to Leicester.
Yeah, great. Craig was my manager at Scotland. And then,
Already?
Yeah.
Lovely fella.
Yeah.
Nice fella.
Yeah, sound.
Yeah.
Sound. He was a school teacher, wasn't
I think, yeah, it might have
Quite a
been.
good coach.
He was in the background at Derby because him and Billy, good mates.
he? Yeah. Yeah, I remember him coming down, yeah.
Yeah.
Fair play.
Yeah.
It says here, toughest opponent, ironically, in the Premier League.
Probably him in training. You were coaching.
Don't tell him that. Don't tell him that, for God's sake. He's a gentleman who's probably not too far away right now. I know he's staying here. It's,
Terry.
John Terry, isn't it?
He was brilliant, him.
Yeah, he's a good player, wasn't he?
Really good player.
I remember playing, sorry, jumping in, I remember playing against him when he was very, very young. He came on against us.
Came on the FA Cup.
And he was, he was sort of like trying to boss him around a bit, put him in his place. He weren't having it. I remember thinking, oh, he's got a bit about him.
Yeah, that's exactly what I thought when we played them. You try to just early doors, first thing you do, right? We didn't move.
Yeah,
It's going to be a tough day.
yeah. He knew his trade sort of already, didn't he?
But it was always one of them. If you try to do him, probably 2 or 3 minutes later he'd do you. You think, oh, I'm not expecting that. So
Yeah, it's a
he
good
was a
player.
well, fantastic player, wasn't he? One of the best
Yeah,
ever.
without a doubt.
Well, you don't get the career he's had for no reason, do you?
Exactly.
Play a little bit as well. Fair play to him.
Yeah.
So he made it to the promised land anyway.
Near to the promised land just for a little bit.
And then you made it to Utopia.
Yes, absolutely.
Eh?
Yeah.
The big Leicester City Football Club. And again, who signed you first? There was a
Ian
multitude of managers that you
Oh,
played
there's
under,
loads.
didn't you?
Ian
It was a
Holloway.
bit of a rocky period. Holloway was it that signed you?
Ian Holloway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Talking to characters.
Because I didn't want to sign. I didn't want to leave Derby because obviously in the Premier League I didn't want to leave. And Paul Jewell, they were, I go on the golf trips to La Manga and all that sort of stuff. We've had many conversations about this, but he's a lovely fella, Julie. And he said I had to sell you because I needed to get people in.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay, I got that in the end. But I remember ringing him because we got beat. We played Blackburn and we got beat. and he's ringing us, and I was just as I left the ground, and he went, "Can you report a Leicester in the morning?" And I went, "Yeah." I says, "Why we're training down there?"
Yeah.
He went, "Nah, just make sure your agent's there as well." I went, "What?" He went, "I've sold you to Leicester." And I was like,
Didn't really get too
So I
much
didn't-
say in it. Like,
"Oh." Well, there was and I subsequently I found out there was Wolves, and Leicester came in for us. So, and they went, "Where do you want to go?" And I went, "Leicester."
so they put you under pressure to go, basically, didn't it? I mean, you could.
I could have
You
sat
really
there.
want to, yeah, you really.
Another 2 years, and I went, "Look, if it's right, like, as it, you know," as it is. And I went, "Well," and I was living in Nottingham at the time, so it was just
Yes.
you'd have to
Not
move.
far. Yeah, yeah. Don't
The
have
kids at school, don't have to move them.
Yeah.
So I was like, "Yeah, I'll go to Leicester," and then I came.
Holloway. Rocky period, though, wasn't it?
It was a bizarre period
Yeah.
coming from Derby, which was like ultra professional, to Leicester under Holloway was just a bit of a
Shambles.
it was a bit of a circus,
Yeah.
as in like it was all over the place.
Yeah.
I remember when we played Cardiff down there, and we had our evening meal. I think was it Cardiff, something like that. Cardiff, Swansea, one or two. Well, our evening meal, and he went, "Right, everybody, there's a meeting after the meal, and you know when you have your meal, you know you can just go straight to bed." He says, "There's a meeting up the other end of the hotel, and there was squash courts. So we all had to wait outside the squash court. And I thought, oh, he set up a meeting in the squash court.
Yeah.
So we waited, and he went, right, you can go in, open the door. Holloway is standing there, right, and he slip, now else on, with his ball, and he goes, come on, we'll play dodgeball. And I'm like,
This is going
dodgeball?
somewhere odd.
This is like a Friday before game. So we're in there, and I remember standing in the corner thinking, nah, what if you get one in the face?
Yeah.
What if you slip on the ball and you'll not be playing? So I was just like, whoa, this is a bit weird. So it was one of them where I was like, all right, okay. And then he was just, obviously, lovely fella. He just had a different way of dealing with pressure, I suppose.
Yeah.
I remember his first, because I was coaching at the time at Leicester when Ian
Yeah, you were here, weren't you?
Holloway came in. And his first meeting he gave in the canteen at Beaver Drive, he stood on one of the tables
Right.
and started doing boxing motions, punching motions, and he was taking his team talk while he was throwing punches out and telling us how we were going to counter punch and uppercut and how we were going to win games of football and how we were all going to pull together. While he was doing this, stood on a table in the middle of the canteen. And everyone's like, they didn't know whether to laugh, clap, sink under the table, hands in, head and hands.
Oh, dear.
Yeah, he was a little, slightly different.
He was
wasn't Ollie?
just different. It was just the way obviously he went on to coaching the Prem and all sorts. So
Yeah.
obviously his method was it was just a total 180 from what I was used to, when we first came in. So it was, he was very much of that a guy, if he had a problem, he had to tell the whole squad.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, it was
Whereas at
definitely-
Derby, if you had a problem, you go to senior pros, and the senior pros are sorted. The
Yeah.
whole squad. So it was a bit.
Yeah. Alternative, to
Yeah.
say the least, but...
So, but then obviously we got relegated.
Well, exactly, yeah. Ultimately, whichever method or technique or road you go down, it's got to be successful, isn't it? And
Exactly. Yeah.
you end up...
I mean, I think that was the best thing for Leicester, though, in the end. In a
as it
bizarre
turns
way.
out, it's like a reset, maybe.
kicked on.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember the Stoke one went down. I should have been sent off, I think. Well, I nearly got sent off, I think. Because I thought that relegation fight, Stoke away, it's going to be hard.
Yes.
Yeah. And I remember
They were on the way up at that stage.
and we needed a result.
Yeah.
So I thought, right, come on, let's give it to them. Because they'll, Stoke away, they always give it to you. So you're like, right, come on. And I remember the right back coming in, and I slid in. And I just totally mistimed it. And I just took him out. I think I stuck him in the
There's
stand.
something about right backs.
Yeah. It was always one thing, you try to
Coming
block the
across
ball
it,
and they end up kicking you.
Yeah.
It looks as though you
worse
took them
than
out.
it is half the time.
But this one, I took him out.
Right.
And I sent him in the stand, and the referees running towards us, and he was fumbling about in his pockets. I went, 10 minutes in, we need a win. We're going to get relegated.
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't send us off. Off, yellow.
Yeah.
on
Happy days.
Yeah, so it was all right, but obviously then we ended up getting beat anyway.
Getting beat.
So, yeah.
No, it wasn't a good time, was it?
Horrendous.
As I
Awful.
say, I remember I was coaching. I wasn't at that game actually, but I remember it was.
But it was very somber because you had to do the Player of the Year awards after it when you got relegated. I mean, you don't want to do a Player of the Year awards when you get relegated.
No, it's a bit awkward to say the least,
It is awkward.
isn't it?
So it was, but there was a lot of frustration from the fans, which was fair enough.
Yeah, dark times then, but it shows you, how things can be reset and
Oh, totally.
come back like you did, the following season, won League One,
Yeah,
and then,
yeah.
not revitalised, but re-energised maybe, and
Yeah.
all of a sudden things were on an upward curve, weren't
Yeah,
they?
yeah.
From
I
there.
think it was good for Leicester just to regroup and say, right, this is what we are. Crowd behind, get the team winning again.
Yeah,
Because I'll always say, like, the same with Derby. It's easy to get in a winning mode, and it's just as easy to get in a losing mode.
yeah.
And you kind of get out that way, and you kind of get out of that. And Leicester were in a losing mode, but that season put us in a winning mode. And I think that's why we're just...
You got a multitude of managers that played under, like Holloway, Pearson, Nigel Pearson.
Pearson twice.
Twice, yeah.
Twice,
Still there then. Ericsson, Sousa.
Yeah,
Any particular
yeah. Well,
memories of any of those
that's what
individuals?
about Holloway. Pearson was like, I got on well with him because he was just a man's man.
Straightforward.
And I quite like that.
Yeah,
You know, he was like that or that.
yeah.
You know, and he'd tell you. Sven, I love Sven. And even though I didn't play under Sven, a couple of stories about Sven, brilliant. We played, you remember when we went to Sweden?
I wasn't there.
Were you not then?
No, I'd left by then when.
So we went to Sweden thinking, oh, he's going to take us to Sweden. And, he was like a king over there.
Yeah.
And we played a pre-season game. I don't know, some team it was. And we won 5-0, I think we won. I scored 4. And he put in the paper going, oh, Stevie Howard's the new Christian Vieira. Just got me mixed up, mate. Anyway, he never played us after that. And I was like, what? So I always used to play games, like in cup games, score, thinking, right, I've got a game Saturday. Bench. So, but I can never, because I liked the bloke.
A lot of players say that
Yeah,
about him.
and he was a man manager because I got banned from driving for speeding back home because this time my kids were back in Newcastle, so I was belted back to see my kids, and I got banned from driving. And I thought, I got 7 weeks. I think it was 7 weeks. So I thought, I better tell the gaffer, just in case I'm late and all that sort of stuff. I'm getting the trains, getting the lift, and all that sort of stuff. So I've come in, gaffer, I've got something to tell you. I've been banned from driving. He went, oh no, and he stood up. And he's walking around. I thought, I'm going to get sacked again. I'm going to get sacked. And he's gone like that. He went, right, are your kids in Newcastle? I went, yeah, kids in Newcastle, yeah. I said, so I might be late. I said, so I apologise. He went, no. You take my car and my driver for 7 weeks, you give me back.
I thought you were going that way.
I was like, seriously? So he used to pick us up. He used to pick us up from when he used to see the kids on a Sunday, bring us back down.
Really?
The odd Saturday night, he's picked us up on the quayside. So it was
Results.
It was brilliant. So as a man manager, I was in a hole. When
Yeah.
he was out the hole.
That's difficult, isn't it? That sort of
Yeah.
distance. Yeah.
Yeah. So he was.
You should
brilliant
have
for me.
said the judiciary has been in touch. The band's been extended.
Yeah, exactly.
A couple of extra
Sure.
months.
He was great, Dave. The drad.
So he was just there at your beck and call whenever you needed him, basically.
Sven didn't drive,
Yeah.
so I think Volvo used to give him a car, and the club gave him a driver, Dave, lovely fella. And he just said, look, he says, have him as long as you need him.
Wow.
I'll get another one.
Fair play.
Yeah.
Oh, it was a big Volvo Jeep. So I used to have a kip in the back, and then
Yeah.
just
Flying up.
He's
and
looking after you like that and not even playing you.
not even playing it. So when everybody says, oh, what's Sven like? I'm like, oh, he's brilliant.
it's happening.
Brilliant. He's brilliant for me.
Oh,
So,
dear.
yeah. So it was.
Nice, yeah. Because I suppose he brought in a couple of players himself. He brought in Nuge, didn't he?
Nuge.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
Mills.
one or two others. Like,
Schmeichel.
bring them in, he's going to play them, isn't he? I suppose.
Yeah.
But an element of that, isn't
Yeah,
it?
yeah. And then we got Sosa, was it, after that?
Sousa.
He was.
Did he ever join in training?
What, sorry?
Did he ever join in training?
No.
Because he was some player.
He was a brilliant player.
Yeah.
He's brilliant. Lovely fella as well, Portuguese fella. Lovely. Really, really nice, but he just, at the time he didn't, I remember playing Oxford away, and I had to pull him and say, look at your clipboard. And he used to have a clipboard he used to do. It was like my little girl had just drawn on it.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? they
does
can't
that
understand that.
He knew what he was on about, but
exactly.
no one else.
They were like, well, I don't know what you want us to do here. So it was one of them where he just had to. He had all these ideas, and he was just. He had to simplify it a little bit.
Yeah, perhaps he was
Lovely fella.
a couple of levels above everyone else, maybe.
Yeah, maybe. But nice guy. So.
It's a variety of managers, but mixed times as well, wouldn't it? But it says here, little story about the brown Puma King boots. They're going a bit off tack.
Matty Fryer.
Matty Fryer,
yeah. Inverted commas, yeah.
Yeah, Matty
What's all that about?
Anything involving Matty, I know it's going to be slightly strange.
Because Matty always used to have these Mizuno boots. And you can tell them this when you see them. Mizuno boots, which are very like big, leery, big garish, you know. Like, bloody hell, what's going on there? I says, Matt, you need a bit more class, mate. You know, on your boots. And then I got sent a pair of boots which was trying to like just test to see the colour and all that sort of stuff. And they were basically like a shoe.
Yeah.
It was like a brown brogue Puma. And I thought, you know what, I'm just going to rock in with it.
Rascals.
So I've walked in and all the lads are just absolutely just crying themselves. You know. And I said, well, this is what you class. And I went to play on the training pitch and I was horrendous. I was like, yeah, we'll put them back. But I came in and Nicky Adams, you remember Nicky Adams? Yeah. I came in and I walked through the door and he's just standing there with nothing on but these brown shoes. So every time I think about them browns, I think of Matty Fryer. I think of Nicky Adams just standing there with nothing on.
Yeah. We played with Gary Wright.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
He used to change his boots every day. He'd have a brand new pair of boots every day in training. For some reason.
He needed his socks pulled up the right way and the laces had to be
That's the
certain
strangest
length.
thing I've ever seen from a
Something
player.
technical, isn't it?
Yeah.
He'd have new boots coming in all the time.
So I used to hate wearing new boots.
That's what I'm saying. He'd have new boots every day. He'd try every different kind of boot you can think of in training. And then obviously pick one for a game. But it was a constant with him.
Right,
yeah.
And then slice it into the stand.
Yeah, then slice it. I used to always wear the black Puma Kings. That was my go-to boot.
Yeah.
There you go. Have that. When I rocked in these brown pair, everybody was like, oh, what the? So,
strange, but there you go.
There you go.
As you mentioned at the outset, Tags, players and supporters player of the year. That was
lovely.
yeah, nice honour, isn't it?
It's always nice to get them kind of awards. Like, I mean, yeah, like you say, you don't do it for the awards, but I enjoyed playing for Leicester, and it was just one of them things where.
That was the year you won League One.
Yeah, it would have been.
Yeah.
So you're going up, yeah.
Yeah. So it was always nice to get an award, you know, when you go there.
You know, absolutely.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's reflected on why you're thought of as you are by the Leicester fans. They remember you quite vividly, don't they?
Yeah.
You know?
Well, it was one of them. I try to say this to my son now, you know, if it's not, and we were exactly the same. If it's not going for you in the game, you just work harder. Just keep working hard. At least the fans can see you're trying to put it in.
Yeah.
Maybe not your day.
Yeah.
And that's all I try to.
Yeah, they pick up on that, don't they?
You know what I mean? They do pick up on that.
Yeah, 100%.
Do you have a favourite goal in your time at Leicester?
A few, but obviously the Leeds one is up there.
Yeah.
Because I remember because I was knackered. Because it was 92nd minute, so I was knackered. And I remember standing there like that, and there was Michael Morrison and Jack Hobbs behind us. And they were saying, oh, Steve, you just won my last effort. I was like,
and people don't realise how hard it is
exactly.
in that moment where you
try and,
know what I mean? To try and get it out of yourself. Yeah.
And you thought, right, come on. But isn't it amazing how when the goal goes in, you've got all the energy in the world to run around the pitch?
Yeah, run around. Yeah.
Shirt off and everything.
You know what I mean? So that one probably sticks in my mind a lot because it's obviously I think that got us promoted. That means we were.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah.
So that probably sticks in my mind, but I think that sticks in the supporters' mind as well.
Yeah.
Because it was last minute, I was Leeds.
So, fond memories of Leicester overall?
Oh God, yes.
Yeah.
You know, it's still got, you know, I play that charity game in Dubai. I always ring Macca for a shirt, and he's happy to give us a shirt.
Yeah.
When Leicester play Newcastle, you know, get tickets off the club.
Yeah.
They'll sort us out with tickets there. It's just a lovely family club.
Yeah.
And I think it always has been, but obviously it's going to change a little bit now. We've got the Premiership, and obviously you've got all this place.
Yeah.
So I think it's inevitable that they will drift or it'll not be that tight knit.
Yeah.
What we had.
Yeah, exactly. That's something we found an era before, and it was still there with you. But, I think it's there to a degree, but like you say, it's sort of maybe diluted slightly because of just how the world's evolved, isn't it? But,
I think that's just the way the Premiership is. You get different cultures and different.
Of course you do.
Whereas, obviously, in your region, my time, you used to come in early for training, so you could have breakfast with the lads. That'd be crap with them.
still a lot of people from our time, your time, here at the club, though.
Yeah,
you know
which is
in
nice.
various capacities, which is good, yeah.
Because there's certain clubs that you won't, you know, have to beg for tickets. Like at Derby, I'll have to beg for a ticket at Derby.
Yeah.
So it's one of them where you're thinking...
Should play better then, shouldn't you?
Should have.
Should have got 2 goals in the Premier League, not 1.
Cheers.
You shouldn't have missed that penalty.
You know, yeah.
Huh?
Yeah, so...
Against Blackburn.
Yeah.
Oh, you've dropped that one in, haven't you, as well?
Yeah, Mr. Penalty.
And now you get your 2
Brad Friedel.
tickets. Brad Friedel saved it.
Saved it.
Hit the target.
Hit the target, hit the target.
So after Leicester, your time there sort of culminated. You have some offers to go abroad, or
I had a couple of offers to go abroad. Had a offer to go to Moscow, play for Sparta Moscow.
Did you?
Wow.
No, I'm not going there.
I might fancy that for about a week.
Yeah, and you're thinking, and then I got a couple of offers in Turkey to play there, but then I had some rumours like you get paid in like black paper bags, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like,
Once every so often.
you know, I'm thinking, do you want to do that? And I thought, no.
That's not risky, isn't it?
And then I had an offer from Millwall to go to Millwall. And I thought, I'll have to live in London. I'm like 30, whatever it was, 35. I thought, when I was 25, yes.
Yeah.
Not when I'm 35.
Yeah.
I'm not a big fan of London, but, you know.
No.
Nice to go in and come out, not live there.
Mind
Not
you,
when I'm 35.
You're 35. You don't want to risk having a rickety time at Millwall, do you? You don't want them boys on your back.
Place that is, isn't it? Good football, that.
If you're on the way out a little bit, you know. I'm not saying you were at that age, Steve, but
Yeah.
it happens to all of us, doesn't it?
I remember playing there with Leicester, and I scored a left-footed bottom right-hand corner. And I ran off to the corner, and all these coins were coming down. There must have been about 50 quid on the floor. Jesus.
That's a night out.
You want him?
That's my bonus.
Shoelace like that. So, yeah, it was, well, what's a place to play football, that is.
Yeah.
I think that's when we got they were pelting the bus with rocks and all sorts.
Oh, listen.
Trying under that tunnel, you know, you go through that tunnel.
Lively is the word.
Lively. Very lively. Yeah.
So you settled back up the northeast.
I went back there, me.
Back to your roots.
Yeah. So I had them offers, and then I thought, I'm going to go back home. The kids were back home. And I thought, I'll go back up there. My mate was the coach of Hartlepool at the time. And he said, Stevie, she's coming in, just help us do a job. And I was like, yeah, go on. And I thought, I'll go back and do a bit of, I'll help them out. Anyone went there, he says, I want to sign 5-6 players. And you. Brilliant. And then we played about 2-3 games in. And none of these players are coming in.
Right.
So I said to my mate, I says, mate, where's these players? He went to the chairman, says, we blew the budget on you. I was like,
Standing
what?
in the penalty box
And I was
like,
just
on his
going,
own, waving.
You know what I mean? Like, what the? So it was one of them where I was just thought, oh, no, I've made a mistake. Went there, tried. And then I got a phone call from Dave Jones at Sheffield.
Yeah.
he ran us up. I said, hey, Dave, and he went, what you do? Why are you there? And I went, because I told him so, and he went, come down here. Try and get out and come down here.
What age are you there? 35, 6?
30, no, I was 37.
Right.
37. He says, come here. So I thought, all right, okay. I thought, well, how do you get out?
Well, yeah. Well, he's your mate, the manager, isn't he?
Yeah. Well, he was like assistant manager.
Assistant manager.
And then Craig Higgin was there as well.
Yeah.
So I'm sitting there going, how do I get out of here? So I just thought, I'll just, play it with a straight bat. Went in. Says, look, I've got a chance to go to Sheffield. What's happening here? Pays up. Well, pays some of my contract up.
Yeah.
I'm going, I'll save you a fortune. And I went, right. And then I jumped in the car and went to Sheffield. Played there because they were struggling. Scored a couple of kept them up. Was great. And then Dave Jones says, look, I'm going to give you a new 2-year contract. Bear in mind, I'm 37 years old.
7?
Right. Jeez. And I thought, and it's a great club, Sheffield. I don't know if It's a great club.
You're saying you thought I wouldn't need to think.
I thought, yeah, I'll have a bit of that.
Yeah.
And we played on the Saturday, and we weren't training until the Tuesday, and I was going to sign my contract. And I went back home with the boys. Went out with the lads, my mates back home, and we're in the Shark Bar next to St James's Park, and it's a big sports bar. And I came across the ticket tape at the bottom. Dave Jones sacked.
Is that when he's got the bullet, yeah.
Jesus Christ. So I drove down on the Tuesday and went, oh no, I've got a pen. I've got a pen.
Yeah. Where's the paper?
And they went like that.
See you later.
See you later. And I just thought, from then I thought, nah.
37, you've done well.
I was 30, I just turned 38, so.
Even better.
Yeah.
There's not
So I
many
just
people,
thought, you know what?
people get that far, do they?
Did you not wait for Dave Jones to get another job and then get straight on the blow at him and say,
Yeah.
"Hi, David.
Yeah, but he didn't.
It's Big Stevie here."
Yeah, no, yeah. He never
Get another job after
never
that.
got back in there.
Wow.
So I just thought that's me done, you know.
Was your playing days done?
Yeah.
Yeah, you had
You
a
know-
fair crack at it though, didn't you?
Do you know when you retired and that? Did you know it was time to retire, or did you think, you know what?
I did in my
Yeah.
instance. It sort of
Did you?
snuck up on me relatively quick.
wasn't
but
happy.
Then I couldn't. I had an injury that was like regressive, if that's
right,
the right word. And I could try to get fit, and I knew straight away once I back out on the training pitch, couldn't do what I used to.
Yeah.
I was slow anyway, but by then I was taught as slow.
Turgid. It's torturous.
Torturous.
Same
More
you.
than torturous.
Just my knee, and I didn't want to retire. I love playing because by that stage, when I'm knocking 36, you're thinking, I'll go to League One. I'm playing
you're
Championship. I'll go to League One. It's
Yeah, I thought that.
you know what I mean? Because your brain just takes
I
over.
thought I'd nicked a couple of years. Played 38 without the injury.
Just like Matt says, physically, it's just an impossibility. So you have to admit defeat
Yeah.
in the end, and that was it.
Yeah.
But if you weren't injury,
No, I was never-
an issue. You were
No.
just like
I think the worst thing I ever did was pull my hamstring.
yeah.
Wow.
I don't know how I did that. So I wasn't that quick.
So then why hang him up then?
I just, my head,
did-
I had enough.
Your head had
Yeah.
enough, yeah. Whereas our heads didn't. It
Yeah.
was our bodies that had enough.
Yeah. It's the same with my mate Seth. His last game was at Wembley, did his knee, and he loves football. Whereas
Didn't
I'm
he
not,
retire relatively young though, didn't he?
he did, yeah, because of his knee. I think he had 4 or 5 operations on both knees.
Yeah.
So there's obviously a chink in his arm or somewhere that his knees were knackered. But I just had enough. I know for a fact when I was 38, my property company was just starting, and I was dipping into that, and I thought, you know what, I've had enough. I've had enough.
So when you did pack in, any designs on staying in the game, and whether
No.
capacity or not? But you just like mentioned it there. So you had a little side business.
Yeah, which was running in the background, and I just thought, yeah. And I always remember my missus coming up I must have been retired a couple of weeks, and she came up on a Friday. She went, "Do you want a glass of wine?" I went, "No, I can't." I tell you what, here's the bottle.
Yeah.
You know, it's one of them. So you got your life back,
Yeah.
type of thing. Whereas you were, you know, in the weekends you could do stuff on the weekends which you couldn't when you were playing.
Yeah.
And it was just I found as though it was lovely just to go get my life back a little bit. With say, you know, I can't eat that. Oh, I can go there on a Saturday. Or I can have a holiday in August. And I just like that.
Pros and cons, isn't it?
Oh, totally. I mean, don't get us wrong. You miss. I miss football as in terms of the big games. I don't think you can ever get that feeling anywhere. I don't miss training or anything like that. I miss the big games. But no. But like I said, I had my property company, so it was an easy. I stepped into that.
Your property company's going
Yeah, it's going great.
pretty well.
Yeah, going really
Fingers
good.
crossed,
Look,
touch wood and all that.
after footballers, so I'm in football, but I'm not.
Yeah.
So I hear that.
Are you directly involved with the PFA then? Or
The
they
PFA, the PFA knew exactly what I'm doing. I had 3 or 4 meetings with them,
Yeah.
and they basically said, "Get out and do it,"
Yeah.
because it'll stop the members knocking on our door, which is what we try to do.
Yeah. So you're encouraged, not encouraging. How would you describe it? That you look after.
I just try to guide them.
advise, or
I just try to guide them, and just because when I ever had a promotion bonus or a sign-on fee or anything like that,
Yeah.
I bought houses. Because coming from the background,
Yeah.
like we did, I didn't know how long this was going to last. You know
Yeah.
what I mean, as a footballer. And I thought, I don't really want to go back to sticking roofs on.
No.
So I thought I'll build a property portfolio, and that'll be my income.
Yeah.
And as it turns out, it just snowballed.
Pay someone to stick them on.
And now that's my income. And now I've got my business, which gives us another income,
That's great.
which is, you know.
Could have done with meeting you a few years ago, me and Tags, couldn't we? But we won't go there.
Yeah, sure.
But, yeah, no, I'm happy to sit here. But your son, Evan,
Yeah.
talking about carrying on the family name then.
Yeah.
In the sporting world, in football. Playing out in Georgetown College in the USA.
Yeah, well, he's a massive Leicester City fan.
He's Leicester City fan,
Leicester
is he?
City daft. Yeah.
Right.
He's even got his, all the stuff.
How come Leicester City and not the other clubs that you played
It was just for when I was here.
That sort
And
of
he used to
time.
come to all the games, loved it, and he's still that now.
for? Is he?
So he loves it over there, on his dome walls, all Leicester. So
Fair
it's one of them. It's
Pictures of you on there.
does he what? No, it's no.
And is he a centre forward like his dad?
Yeah, he's centre forward, 6'4".
Can he hit it like
No,
his dad?
nah. So, but he thinks
Boom.
he thinks he can.
thinks he can.
He's quick, which you have to be, I suppose, nowadays, isn't he?
Yeah.
But he's over there. He's training with a pro club at the minute. So he's got a 3-week trial, and then if he does well off that, then he'll turn pro, which is half the battle.
So we'll have to put him in touch with Steve Guppy out there.
Yeah.
Was he Nashville? Nashville FC.
He loves it out there. He loves it. He's got a strong Geordie accent as well, and he said nobody can understand him.
Understand the word.
No.
Yeah.
I said, can I understand him here? Never mind over there.
No chance, no.
So,
They think English are Australians at
Exactly.
the best of times, don't they?
yeah.
I don't know what they'll make of your son.
Exactly.
Like that.
He's loving it.
Okay, Steve. So before we finish, we like to play this little game with our guests, and this game's called Desert Island Foxes. And what it is, you've got to imagine that you're marooned on a desert island, and you can pick 3 ex-Leicester players to come to this island to make sure that you have the best time possible.
Right.
So you've got to pick 3 players and which jobs you would give them to make your time on this island, a good, pleasant stay.
Bit of a tough question, that, isn't it?
Yeah, very tough.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hit you with it.
Ask everybody this.
Yeah, everybody gets it, yeah.
What about Ian Holloway for a game of one-on-one dodgeball?
Dodgeball.
It could be a manager.
Yeah. Right, we'll go Lloyd Dyer,
Yeah, Lloyd Dyer, yeah, quick.
because he was lightning,
Yeah.
so you can run to the bar and back quickly. Yeah.
There's a bar on there, is there?
Yeah, there's a bar in there. Yeah, a little tiki bar. I'm going to go Nobby Solano,
Yeah,
because he's the entertainment, he's trumpet.
yeah, of course, yeah. Bit of a musician.
And then,
You've got beer,
yeah,
you've got live entertainment, you just need someone to enjoy it with.
Take me. Oh, sounds good.
and I'll go Macca the Kit Man,
Macca the Kit Man.
because he loved the beer. So I'm going to sit next to him.
Yeah, great lad, Macca.
You'd
Yeah,
be
he's a great
delighted
laugh.
to get a shout, Macca.
Macca the Kit
Well
Man.
deserved.
Yeah.
Well deserved.
There could be 10 more probably in my car.
Well, yeah.
I'd be like, I should have said him.
That's funny you said Macca, because he used to love a beer in our day, didn't he?
Yeah.
Still carrying it on.
Yeah.
Mind you, he's lost a bit of weight now. Maybe he's stopped drinking a bit. Yeah.
I used to buy him because we used to go to Slovenia, didn't we?
Yes.
I used to buy him that Lascos,
Yeah.
Yeah,
Loves them. He's got pictures on the wall, isn't he? In the office, yeah.
big things. You already had one in his hand.
Nice, good though, yeah?
Yeah, yeah.
Happy day. You're looking well,
not
like I
bad.
say.
Not bad at the minute. It's been kind, so I can't complain.
Happy days. You had a great career and
Thank you very much.
interesting career as
yeah,
well, isn't it?
absolutely. Yeah, very
Plenty
interesting.
going on. I thought there might be. Like I say,
There's a few others in there, I'll tell you
I haven't
later.
met you properly, but I knew there's be a few.
It's all
little
our
stories.
time.
It's all the time now.
Yeah,
So the Premier League. What
exactly.
a story that is.
Yeah, and it's nearly as extreme as Jamie Lawrence, isn't it? From prison to the Premier League.
Yeah.
But,
Lawrence.
that's another story. That might be one for the future, to be fair. But no, brilliant, Steve. Nice
Thank you
one.
very much, mate. Thank
Thanks
you
for
the
coming
invite.
along.
Thanks a lot, Steve.
Cheers, mate.
Absolute pleasure,
Nice
buddy.
to see you.